Am I wrong? No N2716 says. My husband takes baby mama side. Just wondering if this is normal? I feel like it's a lack of respect for me. She called him on his way to pick up his son with me in the car, sounding messed up asking for milk. I told my husband no, we aren't stopping. He got mad at me, and after we got home I asked him if milk was a code word for something because of the way she said it and that she didn't know I was in the car. This comes from a long history of him sticking up for her, not me. Am I crazy? I feel like they are both disrespecting the boundaries we set. She has a gas station literally 4 doors down with a 16-year-old daughter at home as well. Stasimkjil0 says. It's impossible to know because 1. We don't know their co-parenting dynamic. 2. We don't know the boundaries you set. 3. We do not know if you are inserting yourself where you should not be. 4. We do not know where your trust issues come from. Leatherlab8120 says. We do not know if you are inserting yourself where you should not be. We do know if you are inserting yourself where you should not be. 5. Competitive Aid 9518 says. Lol, he's not cheating on you. She probably nervously didn't want to ask for him to do something. My wife has a baby daddy, he's not involved for very disgusting reasons. But a healthy co-parenting is needed. The fact that you guys were on a drive there and there is a gas station nearby, why not? It's a gallon of milk, you're in the car, he's not going in, and, frick, eyeing her and coming out to you. I feel like you are jealous of her for some odd reason. John Patton 3 says. If milk was a code word for something, because of the way she said it, and that she didn't know I was in the car, why would she use a code word because she didn't know you were the car? That's something someone is more likely to do when they know other people are listening, less likely if assuming no one is. I think you may be operating more emotionally than logically. Harry Up says. Ma'am, there are other men out in this world who do not have this dynamic. If this bothers you so much, then why are you with him? That is their son and the communication will always be there. HS graduation, college. His firstborn, etc. Are you ready to feel disrespected for the rest of your life? It honestly sounds like things are going to get worse for you. Beam Machine 1313 says. If you have to wonder, it means there's something that's making you distrust him. Has he cheated before? Did he cheat on her with you, for instance? If you can't trust him, there's really no reason to stay with somebody like that. Find someone you feel safe trusting. No N2716 says. There are a lot of reasons for my distrust, including previous lies. Thank you for pointing that out. Beam Machine 1313 says. I just realized you said he was your husband and not a boyfriend. In this case, I would suggest some kind of couples therapy first, unless you feel that they've been sleeping together, in which case, divorce him. Cheaters don't deserve to have wives. Milk Ipsicow says. Why would you think it's code? If she didn't know you were in the car, why would she even use a code with him? What makes you think he is hiding things? Environmental Age 502 says. Without having a single damn clue about the dynamic or context or history at all, this isn't him taking her side over you. This is him buying a freaking gallon of milk. A bit of kindness to the mother of your kid is not a slight to you. Again, without any context in the slightest, this reads like you shouldn't be with a person who ever dated anyone ever, or is kind to people, but especially has a kid with someone else. So maybe give us some context. Fantastic Free 4310 says. Girl, leave him LMAO. This advice isn't even based on the story you posted. Girl, you're with this man for 8 years, and in that span of 8 years he had given you some standard, lied about it saying he got it when he cheated on you, then backtracked saying he had all along but just didn't know how to tell you, yells at you when you call him during work time, but lets his ex do it without the yelling. Also when he's calling with his ex for 30 plus mins he walks outside, so you wouldn't hear a thing, and when you try to get closer he walks away. Girl, run. He has no respect for you, lies to you, and breaks your trust with his alleged cheating. And when you suggest therapy he tells you he doesn't want to be ganged up on. You're not leaving him over this milk fiasco. I think you experienced way worse treatments from him. That should be reason enough to leave his ass. The herpes, lying at it, would have been enough for me to pack his bags. Mark Hagel says, YTF would she use a code word if she didn't know you were in the car? The paranoia. Outside at 9562 says, we only overthink when we are ignoring our instincts. Ed, keep an eye on that. Crowisland Ive says, you need to chill TF out. Comfortable Cup 6318 says, I saw your comment where he goes outside to talk with her for 30 minutes. Nah, I wouldn't like that. People who have nothing to hide, hide nothing. You're not wrong. Am I wrong? Ashamed Distance 396 says, would I be wrong if I sold my grandma's jewelry? My grandma passed away like 15 years ago and I inherited a lot of her jewelry. The jewelry has just sat in her old jewelry box for all this time. I have some big vet bills due to my dog needing an emergency C-section and then one of her pups having a cleft palate and hydrocephalus, so she's had to see the vet as well. Would I be wrong if I sold some of my grandmother's jewelry to help pay off the bills? Convivialcad says, nope. You would not be wrong at all. It's just stuff. You inherited it, so it's your stuff and you can do whatever you want with it. Turbulent Garden 423 says, my grandma would give me jewelry to sell in the event of an emergency. That's what your grandmother did. Jewelry was money for women before we could have bank accounts and credit. Agitated Pilot 3055 says, grandma spirit is not housed in your jewelry. Ravenclaw says, not all the jewelry is yours, and rather than have it gathering dust, it can help you in a time of need, so do what you think is right for you. Katana 1369 says, it's your jewelry. I sold the only 2 items of jewelry my grandmother gave me for my dog too. Arad 7691 says, no, if you give any other family first refusal. Grumpy G says, is there anyone in your family who would be interested? Maybe ask them first if they want to buy it. For you it might have no emotional value, but maybe for others. Leathermap 8138 says, sometimes the weight in gold is worth more than the jewelry. Make sure you get at least that. Noduneon Lizzo says, your grandmother would likely prefer that her inheritance helped you than having it just sit there while you struggle. Annual version 6250 says, nope. It's stuff. Nothing more. Fat Dudamus says, dumbest idea ever. Being that you said it's your grandmother's, I'd assume that most of the jewelry is vintage. I'd only sell the broken pieces, if any. You can sell the other stuff, but I wouldn't go to a pawn shop or anything. Used to manage one for years. They are only going to pay you a portion of what it's worth in its weight. However, some of those pieces can be worth more than gold weight to the right buyer. Educate yourself online on the price of gold in today's market. Then learn what percentage of gold is in each carat weight. For example, 14K is 585 or almost 60% gold. By educating yourself you'll be able to weigh these pieces and determine what they are worth in full scrap value and base your decisions off of that. Most places purchasing precious metals buy at 35%, meaning if it's worth $100 in gold weight you'll only see $35. Anton says, If she has other family, it would be nice to offer them to buy at a fair price, just to carry it in the family if you can. Not wrong though regardless. Especially if family wants a sweetheart deal that doesn't help your current financial needs. Bluefoot44 says, there are not that many wrongs in the world. It's wrong to kill. But when it comes to you and your stuff, do what you want. I also try to be kind. Armafant says, not at all. We gave all of my mother's stuff away. She didn't have many expensive pieces though. In hindsight we could have probably made a few bucks, but this was years ago before marketplace. Hot to Twat says, you own them, do whatever you want with them. Affectionate Lab 4669 says, not wrong. Also depending on the jewelry you might get better pricing by going to gold buyers vs just a pawn shop, so take your items point into both to see where you would get the best offer. OK requirement 3116 says, be selective how you sell it. Don't pawn. etc. Standard Hawk 1660 says, not wrong, but I wouldn't sell it all. Keep some things so you can pass it on to the next generation. My son wears my grandfather's gold chain that I used to one, gave it to him for his graduation. I smile every time I see it on him. Endless Moonlight says, I would keep 1 or 2 pieces, ones that she wore often or had special story behind them. Other than that, I don't think you need to keep all of it. And if it's for a good cause, I think she wouldn't mind you selling it. Blink Blankbum says, do you have children? If so, I would consider giving some or all of it to them. But that's just me. And if you don't have kids, sure. Forsaken Helicopter 66 says, nope, it's yours. But when you sell it, get you pup spayed too. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.